you are playing an amazing role, okay? So listen up, take notes if you need to, because you're here for a reason. Our audience, our community, we need your help, okay? So your job in this is to listen deeply and attentively, right? So you signed up to watch a coaching session, and I want you to pretend as if you are the coach in this session, which means you will be listening intuitively as if you are coaching Amy through this, okay? So really being as engaged as possible is your number one job. Welcome, Badass Manifester. I am so glad you are here. I'm your host and head coach, Ashley Gordon, master mindset and manifestation biz expert, founder of the quantum coaching certification, and multiple six-figure entrepreneur obsessed with empowering you to create quantum leaps in your energy, your life, and your business. This is the show to help you make magic your everyday normal, where the ripple effect is real and the guest experts are world class. My mission is to power your conscious and subconscious mind with manifestation teachings, business tools, and coaching techniques to put your potential into action. Consider this your weekly up level. Are you ready for quantum transformation? Let's do this. What's up, badass manifestors, quantum coaches, and future quantum coaches? I have one question for you. You want to be on top? Dun, 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 dun. We had so much fun at the Next Top Coach live event that I was like, this is too good. We need to put this on the podcast because there is so much value in this coaching session that these coaches coach our amazing client Amy on, that I feel like everyone needs to listen to it. If you've ever wanted to be behind the scenes of a coaching session and say what goes on, and really know what goes on in these sessions and the magic that unfolds, this is the podcast for you today. And so the Next Top Coach was incredible, amazing turnout. We had so much transformation unfold. And so this is going to be a two-parter where you're going to get the coaching session in this podcast, and then you're going to hear the judging next week in next week's podcast. So you're really gonna wanna listen to both episodes to hear the judges' feedback for our amazing coaches. Now, all these coaches have graduated from the Quantum Coaching Academy, and they're really showing off their skills. And I mean, they're absolutely incredible. And so I'm super excited for you to listen to this. And before we dive in, I want to invite you to something that we've never done before. It is so beyond cool what we're doing. So we are hosting something called the Quantum Coach Codes, which is something we've literally never done before. This is going to help you crack the coaching code. So until now, I've only shared this specific code with students inside the Quantum Coaching Academy, which is our internationally accredited certification program. And what we're doing is we're pulling out an amazing section from the program, and we're hosting a 3-hour in-depth, value-packed, intensive coach training. So if you've thought, I'm thinking about joining QCA, but I'm not really sure if it's right for me, this 3-hour in-depth training is going to give you so much. You're actually going to learn the signature quantum coaching session structure for how to start, lead, and guide a very powerful coaching session, which ensures your client gets exactly what they want and need out of the session. This is a proven framework and tools to implement right away with your clients. So you're going to learn it, you're going to practice it, and then we're going to do a really powerful group coaching session where you get to practice your coaching skills. How many times have you been able to practice your coaching skills outside of your actual clients? Or how many times have you said, I want to know if I'm even good at this coaching thing, and you don't even have clients yet, or you haven't made the move to step into becoming a coach? This would be the training to join. So this training it's just going to be amazing. And right now we're offering $100 off the training. So it was $444. It's $111 off. And we're offering it for $333 for 3 hours of an amazing, intensive, jam-packed intensive. The link is in my Instagram bio to join us. It's also in the show notes to join us. There are limited spots. And I will say that this is a live training and you're going to want to be there live. Yes, there will be a replay. It will be valuable, but to get the most out of it, we want you to be there live. So this event is happening September 29th, East Coast time from 5 to 7 p.m. Would love, love, love for you to be there. If you have questions, message me. I'm here for it. And without further ado, enjoy Next Top Coach. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Next Top Coach, baby. So excited. So excited. I will be sharing our coaches with you very shortly. They are currently in the dressing rooms getting ready for their big debut. We are so freaking pumped over here. Hair and makeup is on tap. We've got our coaches just like practicing their coaching questions in the back. They are getting pumped to show up for you. But not just for you, for the client, because we have an amazing client who is with us today. I can't wait for you to meet everyone. I'm hearing in my ear that they are almost ready. So we'll be bringing them out very, very shortly. As you come on, say hello. Let us know that you're here. Where are you tuning in from in the world? And what made you say, I want to be here at Next Top Coach? This is very important because we want to know why you showed up today, what you're looking to get out of this, and how excited you are to watch the transformation unfold. Welcome, everyone. Here is how it's going down. Are you ready? First and foremost, so happy that you said yes to this. The intention behind this event is multifold, right? Like, we want you to meet quantum coaches that have gone through the Quantum Coaching Academy so that they can inspire you with their level of coaching, so that they can show you new ways of coaching, different styles, different techniques, maybe things that you haven't brought into your coaching before. So that is really exciting. And we wanted to do this. I had this vision of doing this reality game show type of coaching competition. Like, how fun is that? Because how often do you get to see behind the scenes of a coaching session? Literally never. So it's super, super fun to be able to see behind the scenes and gain tools for your own coaching and be able to have takeaways that you hear from what the judges have to say and giving them feedback and all of the things to like really actually bring into your own coaching and take it to your clients. So it's for you to experience the transformation, watch it happen, learn new tools just by being in the space. And I'm really excited about that. Okay, so I'm going to introduce our judges right now. So first and foremost, my right hand, my number one, Jenna Teague. Okay, hold on. I'm going to actually share gallery now. So we've got Jenna in the house. So excited you're here. So Jenna is a quantum coach. She is a head facilitator in QCA, and she is just genius at business and strategy and coaching and holding space. And she's one of my besties. And I'm so excited that we get to do this together. So welcome, Jenna. Yeah, introduce yourself. You're muted.
Yeah, I'm muted. I'm so excited. I forgot to unmute myself. This is so cool. I love this idea that you had, the seed of an idea that now is here, finally. And I'm so glad to be one of the judges. Of course, we work together a lot. And thank you for that beautiful introduction. I would say, just want to share that my other piece of background is that I also work as a psychotherapist. So I'm trained as a psychotherapist and a coach, and I work with Ashley in the Quantum Coaching Academy and in her business. And one of the things that lights me up the most is mentoring coaches and teaching coaching skills. So this is my jam right here. I could not be happier to be here. I couldn't be happier to have these beautiful coaches from the Quantum Coaching Academy show off their stuff. And I'm just going to be a fly on the wall, just taking notes.
Taking all the notes. You're getting so much love in the chat. Jenna, we
Aww.
love you, Jenna. Yes, and if you don't know Jenna and you were like, why is everybody obsessed with Jenna? It's because Jenna's the real fucking deal. Chelsea just wrote. She's just absolutely incredible, and everyone that's in QCA and has gone through QCA knows that. So we're blowing up here. Awesome. Yay. Amazing. Thank you for being here. And our celebrity guest judge is running fashionably late, so we will be introducing her later on when she shows up. So now I will introduce our beautiful, amazing coaches. We have Sandra, Emelina, and Julie. I'm super, super excited. So if you could each say a few things about yourself, that would be amazing. So Sandra, why don't you kick us off? Introduce yourself. Who do you help? Where are you from? All the things.
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. So excited. My name is Sandra, and I'm from Toronto, Canada. And I am a recent grad of QCA. I graduated about a couple of months ago, and QCA was just such an expansive experience for me. My whole life shifted by quantum leaps, but like just by being in QCA and learning what I learned. And in terms of my coaching today and who I coach women who struggle with a skin picking disorder called dermatillomania. And the reason why I work with this particular group of women is because it's something that I personally struggled with. And it wasn't until I was able to excavate my limiting stories and my limiting beliefs that I was able to have an awakening and overcome that. And so for me, my mission and purpose has really been to work with these women and just all women and let them know of their limitless potential and infinite possibility, and just let them know as well, like, I'm really passionate about neuroplasticity and our subconscious programming, and let them know that everything is working exactly as it should. We are not broken. We do not need to be fixed. And just understanding ourselves and understanding our bodies and how everything is really working for us, not against us, just so that we can be empowered and the best version of ourselves.
Woo! Damn! Amazing. Thank you so much. So beautifully said. And Sandra's crushing it in her biz. You all are. Amazing, amazing. Okay. Next up we have Emelina.
Hi, everyone. My name is Emelina. I am so excited to be here with you today. I am a manifestation and mindset coach, and I am living in the Okanagan in British Columbia, Canada, one of the most beautiful places. And I really just have such a passion for helping women really understand their mindset, moving into a place of harnessing their power, their internal personal power, and really being able to use that to call in more money, in purpose, in fulfillment, and freedom in their lives. I was in a place not too long ago, about 2 years ago, where I just felt really trapped in my life. I felt like I would be sort of in the same corporate 9-to-5 job. I had checked off all of the boxes and moved in the steps that I felt like would bring me happiness. And I reached that place and I just wasn't fulfilled. I wasn't happy. And I really found manifestation at such a beautiful point in my journey, which I think is where it really finds a lot of us. If you have discovered manifestation, if not yet, it is a beautiful world. Welcome. And it really is just such an incredible opportunity to harness your power, to really move through limiting beliefs and fears and doubts that are holding you back. Because I used to believe that I was a person who was never able to make change in my life. And once you really realize you can take that personal power, the world opens up for you. And it's just such an incredible place to be. And that's what I love to do, to help my clients really realize that, step into their purpose, and live a life with their passion. So thank you.
Oh my God. Yes. Oh, so awesome. Amazing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. And we have Julie Hagen. Welcome to Next Top Coach. And so we have a lot of international people in here. So we had to drop America's Next Top Coach. And now it's just Next Top Coach because we international up in here. Okay, Julie.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me, Mama Ash and Jenna. My name is Julie. I am in the United States. I'm in sunny California. where I sometimes stalk Jenna, but it's okay. She likes it. I was in QCA's first round. And it was truly one of the best experiences of my life. Not only did I get so many invaluable skills that obviously support my coaching business, but just the skills you learn interpersonally really change the relationships and how you show up in life. And now I run a charity with someone I met in QCA. So it's a crazy world out there. But I am a high performance coach. I used to be a lawyer, and now I support people in having the best of business and their personal lives. So I do a little bit of both depending on what you need from me. But I have the CEO reset method, and it's all about going from dropping the ball in your personal life to doing it all so you can really enjoy your well-earned success. Because so many people out there in the corporate world and frankly not loving life, but it's possible to do both. And I wish I had that when I was still practicing. So I am here to help you really do it all. I'm just so grateful for this opportunity.
Oh my God, look at you all. I'm so proud. And we have, last but certainly not least, Amy. Amy, our amazing client who said, I am willing to be coached in front of the world. Welcome.
My name's Amy, obviously. I am in Oklahoma. Yes, where all the tornadoes are. I am a certified Enneagram coach and a current QCA member. So my plan is to marry the Enneagram coaching with QCA coaching, with sex coaching, and just make a really specific niche of that. I think my favorite part of QCA so far is the inner healing that comes with it, that I wasn't prepared for that. I just didn't know what to expect. I knew it would be amazing, but I didn't realize how much we personally got out of it. Not just how much we learned for other people and for our clients and for the people we serve, but how much we learn for ourselves. And that's just invaluable. So very, very excited to be here.
Thank you so much for being here and for sharing, and all of you for being here, and all of you who are watching with us, because you are playing an amazing role. Okay, so listen up, take notes if you need to, because you're here for a reason. Our audience, our community, we need your help. Okay, so your job in this is to listen deeply and attentively, right? So you signed up to watch a coaching session, and I want you to pretend as if you are the coach in this session, which means you will be listening intuitively as if you are coaching Amy through this. Okay, so really being as engaged as possible is your number one job, because for a few reasons, because there will be prizes. And what that means is when you are listening and maybe you're getting an intuitive nudge, and I know some of the QCA students are in here from past, present, and you might have questions that you feel are really important that need to come through. Now, if you submit questions in the chat and we pull one of your questions and feed it to the coaches that are coaching the client, and your question gets chosen, you will win a prize. Okay, so your questions are really important. Your activity is very important in the chat, and it may or may not get chosen. However, if it does get chosen, you will be winning a prize. And I can't remember what that prize is right now. So Jenna, if you remember, put it in the chat so I could tell them. That would be great. And then what we're really looking for is we're judging our coaches based on really specific things, and we will be keeping note of what those very specific things are. You don't need to know what all the things are, but basically they start with a score of 100. Okay, and if we see things like, for example, if they ask a close-ended question, we're going to be taking a point off for that. If we see that they're not in rapport with the client, we're going to be taking a point off for that. So I'll be doing my own judging with my 100 points. Jenna will be doing hers. And so at the end, we'll be adding up those points. Now, we're looking for them, making sure they're using the quantum coaching method, making sure they're using processes as needed and as they see fit. So really, really cool different things. And you'll be able to hear the feedback that we give at the end to understand how we, how we graded and how we judge them during their coaching. Now, we really don't like to call it judging. Like, it's judging for the game show vibes, but it's really feedback. feedback is imperative in your coaching. And let's be real, most of us don't get it. Most of us don't get feedback when we're coaching because we don't have someone who's listening to our coaching giving us feedback. Of course, if you're in QCA, you get that. But when you're out there in the world doing your business, you don't get feedback that often. So feedback is really invaluable. And that's the intention behind the judging. And your job is to listen intently and intuitively like you're coaching, paying attention to what the coaches are saying and asking what the client's saying. And you will be doing a poll at the end where you will be doing like picking your fan favorite. And so whatever coach, everyone wins, like there's prizes for everyone, but the coach that is the fan favorite wins a 30-minute session with me, as well as a $100 gift card to the Big Coach Energy shop, as well as there was one other thing. What was it? You remember? There was one other.
Yes, either coming on the podcast or
Yes.
doing an Instagram live with Ashley.
Yep. So I know like some of you have already been on the podcast. So if you want to do an Instagram live or you want to come on the podcast, that is what the fan favorite will also win. So super exciting. And that requires you to help us. Okay. And if your question gets submitted, you will get a discount code to the Big Coach Energy shop. All right, super exciting stuff. Okay, we're already running a little bit behind, so we're going to get started. Here's the deal. The coaches have 45 minutes to coach the client. During the 45 minutes, we will be tagging different coaches in. So they don't have like 15 minutes each to coach. It will be 15 in total. However, they're not going to know when they're being tagged in. So they have to also be listening intently to the client. So they're going to be tagged in and out in the chat. We're going to notify them, and then we will we might announce it verbally or not, depending on, probably not. You will submit your questions in the chat for feedback to be asked. Like we can also give you feedback on your questions in the chat. And that is what is going down. Yeah, wish everybody luck. Put that in the chat. Am I missing anything? Are we good? Okay. So towards the end, we will do the judging after their coaching. We will give them their feedback. So you're going to want to be present for that. You're going to want to listen, and you're going to get the most out of the feedback for you viewing to bring into your coaching if you're listening the whole time. Awesome. Cool beans. Are we good? Okay, coaches. Jenna, I will let you do the honors of who is going first.
Okay, Julie, kick us off.
All right. Hi, Amy. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. I'm so excited to be here with you today.
Me too. I love your wallpaper.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so sweet. I love your background as well. So, Amy, what do you want to talk about today?
So I am a recruiter / headhunter for a private mortgage company. And I love the company, the culture, the team I work with, who I recruit for, everything but the job. The job itself is not very fulfilling. It doesn't fill my cup. It's not my passion. I make great money at it. I'm good at it, but it doesn't fulfill me. So I would like to go to my leader and propose a hybrid role of still recruiting. I want to add in marketing, specifically video marketing for recruiting, and then eventually some executive coaching for the whole company. So it would really be a big hybrid role that doesn't exist, that has never existed before. But my concern is, should I take that to him and it's declined, which I would anticipate, then what? Then they're going to know that I'm not, satisfied in my job. They're going to know that I'm not happy, and maybe I wouldn't be viewed as valuable or even as needed anymore. I could potentially be let go. And my goal is to continue working at this company until I can do coaching full-time in the future. So I don't want to leave at all, but I do want more from my professional life. So I'm very torn on how to approach it.
Wow. Okay. Well, first of all, thank you so much for being so upfront and honest about those concerns that you have. And and for giving me a good picture of the situation. It sounds like, if I'm hearing this right, that you really love the community that you have cultivated in your workplace, but you aren't as jazzed about the things that you're actually doing, but you can see a way that it's going to be something that you truly care about and will be passionate about. Is that right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. And there are some concerns coming up about how your boss is going to perceive this. Um, if we could chunk this down a little bit and get to something that is achievable and attainable for us in this session to come to, what would that goal be?
I think the goal would be maybe to have a plan around how to approach it to him to where I still feel a little safe in that conversation, if you will, to where I go into it with a little bit less anxiety.
Okay. So I'm hearing a couple of things, both the plan itself, but also regulating your own emotional state and response moving into the conversation and approaching it. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And what do we want to be our benchmark for this? How are we going to know that we got there?
Ooh, I think if I walk away today feeling like I have a plan, or maybe even just a little more confidence with approaching that conversation with him, I would feel like this was really successful.
Oh, amazing. And it totally makes sense that you're feeling this anxiety, that peace and that confidence. If you're feeling, or your expectation is that your boss is not going to receive this well or maybe positively. Great. Well, thank you so much for creating that with me. I think that is an amazing goal, and we're definitely going to get there. I'm excited to explore this more. And just to start off, I really want to know what makes this goal, this conversation, and the way you're reframing your job so important to you.
A great question. It's important to me because I feel like I put so much of myself into what I do, whether that's in my personal life, my professional life, but for this context, definitely my professional life. I put a lot of my heart and soul into it. And when I'm doing something that's so unfulfilling, I put a lot less heart into it, and it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel like I'm getting much back as far as the energy goes. I want to give so much more. So it's important to me because, one, I feel like I'm not getting a lot out of it, but also the company I work for, I also feel like they're not getting the best version of me either. And I want them to get the best version of me.
Wow. Yeah, it truly feels like the passion behind you and what you put out in the world is very apparent. So that makes total sense. And I think it's amazing that you are really standing for this win-win scenario of wanting to be the best and do the best for the job, for yourself, for everyone involved. So it's really exciting. Thank you for trusting me with this process and going through it with me. And I'm curious, what do you get to believe about this situation in order to be confident and peaceful and have this plan moving forward with your boss?
Ooh, what do I get to believe?
Hmm.
Um, I believe and know I'm safe going to my boss. He's incredible. He's incredible. So I do believe that even if I go to him and it's a no, and he turns it down, and even if it's a straight point blank no, we're not even going to consider it. Do I believe he will just let me go on the spot? No, I don't. I don't believe that. I do believe it could open the door for conversations moving forward for myself, and maybe for other people in the company too, who come up with these. It's a smaller private company, so these kinds of conversations are a little more welcomed versus a huge, conglomeration. So maybe it could open the door for other people looking into like multi-passionate hybrid roles moving forward.
Okay, awesome. So you get to know and trust that he is someone who is going to really hear you out and not take extreme action and let you go or anything in that moment. And I'm sensing that from you, that you really do feel like he is someone that you can come to with these things. And I was also sensing something else earlier when you were describing this feeling of he's going to say no, like presupposing that that's what's going to happen. What do you see in the like disconnect between this one belief and knowing about your boss and then how you feel like he's going to respond?
Yeah. I think, do I think he would just let me go on the spot? No, I do think that if that were to happen, I could see it taking a little more time, like, wow, she's really not happy here. We're going to dig into her work a little bit more. She could be doing more. But also I do feel safe going to him. He always has my back, always, always. I think the disconnect for me is maybe a little more long-term, right? So not in the moment, I don't think anything horrendous or bad would happen, but a little more long-term, I could see them being like, wow, she's really not happy. She's really not happy here. And we're just going to move on from that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for exploring that with me. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not at all, and 10, I ask for things even when I'm sleeping. How confident are you asking for what you want in your life generally?
A 2.
A 2.
A 2 or 3.
Okay.
A 3 is being generous.
Thank you for being honest. Thank you for being vulnerable. What's in your gap between a 2 or a 3 and a 4 or 5?
I think the confidence itself. I mean, if I had a crystal ball, that would definitely put me to 10. But I think that a little bit of the lack of the confidence itself, not in my abilities in what I do today, or even what I would like to be doing. I feel very confident in both of those realms, but I think the lack of confidence in this specific situation is around that I do feel like it's going to be a no, which is okay. They're allowed to say no, but I do feel like it's going to be a no, which triggers me to feel like it's going to go down a path that that's not very favorable long term.
Okay. So you feel like it's going to be a no, and obviously then you wouldn't necessarily want to ask for it, feeling like you know what the answer is going to be. But if this answer is a 2 in all areas of your life, I'm wondering what comes up for you in asking for something just generally. What's the conversation for you?
It normally just doesn't happen. It's normally a lot of internalizing.
Normally it doesn't happen. Are you asking for clarification? Are you saying you just don't normally ask for things, or you normally receive a no answer?
I normally just don't ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you said it was a lot of internalizing.
Yeah. So if I normally only ask if, I hate saying this out loud, if I feel like it's going to be a yes. Otherwise, I go through the whole scenario in my head. I have it all figured out and it's going to be a no. So I just shut that down.
What is it about no?
I want yes. I don't know. I think yes comes with a validation, and yes feels good. No doesn't feel good.
And how does not asking at all impact your life?
I mean, pretty shitty. It impacts it in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways. The older I get, a little more comfortable I get asking for things that I want, but it takes valiant effort.
The older you get, that's interesting. When can you first remember feeling like it's not safe to ask, or I don't want to ask, I'm afraid of asking?
My whole life. My whole life.
So a moment there you said your whole life it feels like it's unsafe to ask because of that possibility of hearing the word no.
Yep.
Okay. And you said a moment before that hearing a yes is a source of validation and it feels good. And hearing the word no it feels bad.
Yep.
Okay. I'm curious, when you say it feels this way, is that something that you are truly experiencing within your body? Or is it something that's going through your mind? What is the process there?
I'm very heart-centered, so I definitely process it emotionally. It goes to my head eventually, but my heart is just immediate. Doesn't feel good right in my heart.
I can tell that absolutely, that you feel with such a passion and you're driven by this beautiful heart that really is what I'm hearing from you, truly wanting a position where you feel fully fulfilled. Because when you know you're at that place where you feel fulfilled, you're able to pour that out, not only for yourself, but for the other people in your community. As you mentioned before, it's so beautiful and important for you to have this community that you feel so called to and supporting. And your employer also gets to receive the best out of that.
If you could just say that to my boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it exactly. That's it.
How would it feel for you to say something like that to your boss?
He makes us feel very safe. So it wouldn't feel good. I mean, it would not that it wouldn't feel good. I shouldn't say that. It would feel very uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. Sweating, definitely sweating.
Yeah. Those nerves, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So sometimes those nerves are energy, right? We feel them within our body. It's energy. It's something that really is coming through and is trying to tell us something. So you said that there was, just for me gaining some clarification, you said that there was a difference between it's uncomfortable and it's not safe.
Yeah.
Okay. So you said in a moment that it wouldn't not necessarily not feel safe, but it would be very uncomfortable.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So when you're feeling that discomfort, what are you trying to avoid? I'm curious.
Ooh, rejection.
Yeah. And rejection is linked back to that. It feels bad in my heart.
Yep. And links back to the no. Yeah.
Okay.
Rejection's like I think rejection's like the umbrella for it.
Sort of that coding for everything altogether. Okay. I'm curious if we're thinking about having this conversation and there's that discomfort that's coming up for you and there's sort of this umbrella covering all of this conversation in this situation, what is possible for you to really create or cultivate for yourself on the other side of that discomfort?
I feel like endless possibilities are on the other side of that discomfort, truly. Again, not just for myself, but in this one particular situation, not just for myself, but what I can bring to this company as well.
So powerful. So powerful. That type of energy, when you say that, I'm really curious because you were lighting up when you were just saying that statement. You truly were. What did that feel like for you to sort of express that, to let that be heard?
Saying it to you felt just fine. It felt normal almost. I had no idea that there was like a physical seeing of any of that. Yeah. It's very normal.
Really cool. So you're seeing what I'm hearing you say is that there is a lot of change that's available and possible for you on the other side of that discomfort.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Really cool. So one of the things I'm curious about is coming into this conversation, you said your goal today would really be able to have a plan and to really be able to feel safe in coming to that conversation, or maybe talking about this discomfort now as another layer of this conversation. That's really the goal. That's the measure of success for today.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm curious, have you given it much thought? Because now, of course, we're talking about this. We're really diving deep into this. Have you given it much thought about how you might approach this conversation? What are some things that are speaking to you? I'm curious.
I've talked to one coworker who's a really, really close friend of mine. I talked to one coworker about it just briefly, and she asked me, and I said, I have no idea. I have no idea. I feel like it would just almost word vomit out of me. And my concern would be that like emotions would be too high. I'd potentially cry for no reason whatsoever, just from nerves. And that because of that, the message wouldn't be as well received.
Okay. So the message that you had intended, which you know or hold in your heart of what you truly desire on the other side of that discomfort, but maybe there's some fear right now or uncertainty about how you could actually deliver that message, that maybe some of the emotions that would come up for you might mask or maybe not let you fully express what you intend.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Would it be beneficial for you, or how should I say this? How valuable would it be for you to really get clarity on bringing in the approach or the words or the confidence into that conversation?
Oh, that would be everything. Literally everything.
So good. So good. So I have a tool or technique or process that I would love to dive into in our session today, which really is an opportunity to gain a lot of clarity and bringing this into this conversation, this willingness to have this open discussion with your boss, if that's something that you're open to.
Oh, of course. Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Amazing. Hang on one quick second. I'm going to grab my sheet. And this is a really amazing process. It's so powerful. And I want you to really let yourself in this moment, just dive in and know that you're going to receive all the answers that you need to.
Thank you.
Okay, so cool, beautiful. So I'll invite you to close your eyes whenever you're ready. And really just taking a quick moment to get really grounded in this space. I always love to say, as you're breathing in, just welcoming in everything that you might need right now. Anything that you feel like you might be lacking or really wanting to welcome in. Maybe that's confidence, clarity, groundedness, connectedness. Whatever it is that you need to bring in, you're bringing that in with every inhale. And every exhale, really just releasing that and letting that go. Letting that be cleared. And I want you to imagine, as you have your eyes closed, you start to see this beautiful bright white light existing above you. I want you to feel and sense as that beautiful bright white light starts to move down into the crown of your head. Paying really close attention to how this beautiful, warm, welcoming energy feels as it starts to move in through your head, down through your throat and your neck. Really paying attention to how this energy feels as it exists within you. This beautiful, bright white light filled with safety and trust and clarity, intuition and guidance. Noticing as that bright white light starts to spread down into your arms, almost like ice melting, starting to really drip down into the arm. And feeling that beautiful power of that energy move down into your hands. Maybe feeling some buzzing energy there, maybe nothing at all, anything is completely okay. Noticing as that beautiful bright white light moves down into your chest and your back, flowing down into your stomach. Having that bright white light move down through your legs, down into your feet and your toes. And again, just really paying attention to how that beautiful bright white light feels, bringing that trust, that security, that safety, that confidence, the ability, noticing how that feels as it exists within you. Feeling that powerful, beautiful, bright white light, knowing that that exists within you, and you're able to call upon that energy in any moment. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to simply just allow yourself to really listen and to know that you are going to receive exactly what you need. So I want you to imagine that you have just awakened from an amazing night's rest, and whatever challenge you have come here with today was miraculously overcome while you were sleeping. When you wake up, you sense that the challenge was completely solved overnight, but you were sleeping, so you didn't know it was solved. You wake up and something is different. You inherently know that something has changed and something has happened during the night. What is the first thing that you notice that confirms that something actually did happen?
Feel light.
What feels different about that lightness?
It feels warm.
And where do you feel that within you? Where does that warmth exist?
In my heart.
Yeah. Beautiful. So powerful. And when you think about this challenge that you came here with, how does infusing this lightness that you feel into your heart show up in this situation?
It shows up like energy that is confidence.
So that lightness brings in that sense of confidence, ability. So beautiful. What else did you notice in this moment? I'm curious.
The room feels brighter for some reason. Everything feels like bright and light.
And knowing that that confidence, that brightness, that lightness exists here in this moment, in what ways are you able to take this confidence or energy moving forward? How does that show up for you?
It shows up with bravery and asking for what I want.
Oh, good. That bravery exists within you. It's already here in this moment. And the confidence along with that to really step into owning what it is that you desire. owning those next steps of really what feels right and inspiring to you. So good. How willing would you be to do your part to make all of this happen?
Very willing.
Yeah. So good. Beautiful. And whenever you're ready, I would welcome you to come back into this space. Welcome back.
Yep. Okay.
So good. So good. Amy, that was so beautiful. And I just want to take a minute to recognize you for going there and tapping into what it would feel like to successfully complete this circumstance or situation that has been causing you anxiety or that has been just bringing up all the feels. So thank you so much for going through that and opening yourself up to that light. And I also want to bring into your awareness that that light is your heart space. And you mentioned that you are so driven by your heart, and that is truly who you are. And even if you just want to put your hand on your heart in this moment and just anchor that in, so that whenever you feel like that light might be dissipating, you can call it back in, because from what I sense, that is absolutely the truth of who you are. I'm curious to hear more about how you're feeling in this moment.
I feel a lot less anxious. My heart felt really tight. Everything's in my damn heart. I felt really tight starting this whole conversation. I don't have that tightness anymore that I generally have when it comes to feeling anxious.
That is so beautiful. And I want you to know that that anxiety is okay. And everyone feels anxiety. No one is perfect, or there's nothing wrong with it. And oftentimes that anxiety, it tells us so much about what we need and how we can nurture ourselves. And even when that anxiety comes up, it's an opportunity to ask, what is that anxiety even protecting you from? Why is it there to begin with? Because so often our subconscious programming or our ego will kick in, and its only intention is to protect us. It's working for us, not against us. So if I were to ask you, what was that anxiety protecting you from? And I know you mentioned words like safety and rejection earlier on. I'm curious, like, what comes up for you when you think about how it's protecting you?
Honestly, rejection and safety is what comes up first. I know you say it protects me, but I also feel like it hinders me as well, right? Like, it's hard for me to move past that and to see it that way.
What if you didn't have to move past it and you learned how to move through it and with it? Would that be valuable to you?
Very. Yes.
Yeah. So tell me more about what you feel, even in your body, when that anxiety comes up for you.
Hands get sweaty. I just have a lot of energy that runs through my body in general, but it almost feels like an electric current, like true electricity in my body, and like sweaty hands.
Would it be possible in those moments for you to almost take all those feelings that you feel, that's those sweaty hands and that electric current that's running through your body, and just use it as an alarm system and letting you know, like, okay, something's going on. You don't have to push it down, but it's just an opportunity to notice as soon as you get that body reaction. How would that change for you if you looked at it as a message or an alarm system to let you know what's really going on, as opposed to a sign of threat?
I would feel a lot better because it does feel like a huge threat.
Yeah.
I feel a lot better.
Yeah. And that's what's going on even from like a biological perspective, right? Like it's fight or flight, except that you're not running from a predator, you're not running from a lion chasing you. And I think it's so powerful because you brought up the word safety multiple times. That safety is clearly something that you hold so much value in and really resonates with you. So, how can you make yourself feel safe once that alarm system goes off?
That's a great question. I think grounding myself and reminding myself just simply that I am safe, right? Because I'm not actually in a threat situation. When that happens, it feels like it physically and spiritually sometimes. But I think reminding myself to come back down a little bit to earth,
Mm-hmm.
just remind myself I am safe.
Mm-hmm. How does it feel just to tell yourself that I am safe?
Good.
Good. Are there any parts of you, because you also mentioned like this has been something that has been long withstanding, like these feelings of not being able to ask what you want and not being able to just have that confidence that you really crave. Is there, oh, I totally lost my train of thought because of the chat. Sorry about that. But, oh, what was I saying? But in terms of safety, like how, oh, yes, is there a moment in time that is really clear to you in terms of where there was lacking some safety or when this may have started?
Oh, childhood. Not that anything in particular happened ever. I mean, I haven't been through like a traumatic childhood or anything like that, but I've just always felt this is embarrassing, like smallness about myself sometimes. And it's been there my whole life, as long as I can remember.
Hmm. I wonder if you would be open right now just for a couple of minutes to connect with that child inside and really offer her that safety.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So I invite you to just close your eyes and just take a couple of grounding breaths. And just get relaxed in your body and notice anything that comes up. Good. And I want you to just bring up a picture of your child self. Just envision her playing and laughing and dancing just as a child would. And I invite you to envision the adult version of you, noticing her and walking towards her. And as you approach each other, she comes running to you, just so excited to see you. I just want you to get down on your knee and embrace her. Just give her a huge hug. And I invite you to tell her all the things that she needs to know and that you think she needs to hear in this moment.
I'm going to say them out loud.
It's completely up to you. If you feel safe, of course, you can say it out loud. If you want to say them in your mind, fine.
I would definitely tell her that she's stronger than she thinks she is.
Mm, beautiful. Mm. What else?
That she'll fucking go through it, but she'll be okay.
Yes. Yeah, she will. What else do you want to tell this little girl?
To speak up, to be
Mm-hmm.
loud and not afraid.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and that she's safe to do that. Beautiful. What else? Is anything else coming up?
The loudness to not play it small ever, ever, ever,
Mm,
especially for anyone else.
yes, that is so, so powerful. Is there anything else you wanted to add? No, that's perfect. It's beautiful. It's perfect. And just go ahead and give her one last big hug. And just know that she's thanking you and so grateful. And that feeling of safety is resonating. And it's exactly what she needed to hear. And when you feel complete, I invite you back into the room. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
I so witness and appreciate your vulnerability. It definitely takes so much to be open to being seen in the way that you're being seen. And I just like to take a second to recognize that this power is something that you get to harness and is accessible to you in the conversation with your boss as well. Like if you could do this, you could do anything if you could be seen in this way. That's so powerful. Whew. I know at the beginning we talked about your goal being both cultivating the confidence and the peace to have this conversation and the plan itself about moving forward. So if you could think back to the beginning, how did you feel on a scale from 1 to 10 confidence wise going into that conversation?
Oh, a 3 maybe.
A 3. Okay. And where do you feel now?
Probably like a 6, maybe a 7.
Wow, that's a huge leap. That's ginormous. Amazing. I'm so happy that you were able to cultivate that for yourself and to come to that place. What do you feel is a new belief that you want to continue to grow moving forward?
Oh, I love that. I think just constantly reminding myself, maybe until I don't need to remind myself, that I have it all inside of me.
Yes, you do. Ooh, that's a good one. You have it all inside of you. Amazing. I'm wondering if you're open to it and to do a little bit of a role play exercise with me.
Yeah.
Okay, great. The thought being that as you see how you approach the conversation here with me being your boss, you get to start to form your own idea of how you want to move forward and have that conversation. So if it works for you, you get to be you and I get to be your boss and you get to approach me with your idea.
I've been thinking on this for a while and really wanted to put some thought into it before coming to you because it feels like a big conversation and I wanted to put the appropriate thought behind that. And I love working here. I love being on your team. I am all about this company. I'm a champion for this entire organization. And I feel like what I do today as a recruiter isn't best serving us. It's truthfully not my passion. And I don't want that to be taken in the wrong context. It's not that I'm just completely unhappy in my role here. It's more so I think my value here could be so much bigger. I really see myself going, well, maybe I'll say that. I really see myself, if I look into a crystal ball in this company, I really picture myself maybe still doing some recruiting. I do love doing it. But also some marketing, graphics, video recruitment. We've talked about executive coaching before, and maybe that's a little bit further down the line as we move through some company transitions. But the marketing piece is where my passion is. And it's something that I would love to kind of talk about a hybrid role a little bit. It doesn't exist today, but maybe something that marries all of those things together.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you so much for your honesty and for coming to me with these things and, voicing your concerns. We really appreciate you and your work that you do, and you do an amazing job here. You said it's something that doesn't exist here yet. So could you maybe tell me a little bit more what that role would look like? I'm having a little bit of a difficult time conceptualizing of it.
Yeah. So, we're working on these. I'm currently working on a project right now for all of these huge email templates, and it's a huge undertaking. And I love doing it. The communication piece. We're really, as you know, we don't have a social media strategy in any shape or form, and that's not what our current marketing department handles. I would love to take that beast of a project on and help us. It's 2021. Companies need social media strategies. We cannot be a company that invests $20 million in technology, which we have, and put nothing into social media. There's a huge disconnect there. So I would love to, we don't have Instagram. We don't have a Facebook. What in the world? I would love to take those on and run with it, work with corporate marketing, make graphics. And on top of all of that, for our 10-person recruiting team, I'd love to be tasked with video recruiting. I would write the scripts for them. I would help them actually create the videos. I would edit the videos and then push those out through all of the before mentioned platforms. And then we could talk about the executive coaching a little further down the line. That feels like a separate conversation. But at a high level, and then of course, I think I would still like to recruit though, just not full time. That's something I do enjoy. So maybe that's a piece of it, just scaled back to allow room for the marketing pieces to come in.
Okay. And as a business owner, what's this going to cost me? And how much time is it going to take away productivity wise from you recruiting?
I mean, it wouldn't cost you anything.
So you're not looking for a raise.
Damn it, I am looking for a raise. No, wait, I am. I am looking for a raise. Okay. So you wouldn't have to hire another recruiter. The region I recruit for, you don't need me making 500 calls a month for this one region. We could probably bump that to 100. So even, oh God, this feels so wrong. Like a $10,000, $15,000 raise would be so much less than hiring a social media strategist or another recruiter to replace me. So, and then all of the platforms we would use are free, right? Instagram's free. Facebook is free. We have the technology. I don't know if you know this. We have the technology and equipment for everything we need for video. So we have everything. We just need me to do it.
Mm-hmm. Just want to take a quick pause there. What came up for you when you said, "Oh my God, this feels so wrong"? What was that?
The money piece.
Okay, the money piece. So is that maybe it? Is that the real root?
No, because I hadn't even dawned on me until you said that to ask for more money. It hadn't dawned on me
that you wanted to raise.
Yeah, until that moment. I was like, no, wait, no, yes.
Yes. Okay. So
maybe subconsciously it is. Maybe subconsciously I'm not saying that's not the case.
How did it feel though to go through the conversation to that point and to actually say, yeah, you know what, I do want to raise?
I feel fine with you. I felt totally fine in this kind of environment. Yeah, it felt good to pitch it. I haven't even in my shower or, bathroom mirror practiced pitching it at all, really.
So it sounds like now you have a framework for how you're going to go about the conversation.
Yes, which is of course important. Yeah.
Cool. I am very grateful that you took this opportunity to speak with me today. I love what I do here. I think that our mission is so important. I love the community we've cultivated. And I do enjoy what I do. in addition to that, I can see us expanding our impact and what we're able to create and do. And I can see the company and myself, and therefore also like the greater community as a whole, being served by allowing me to take on a new role within the company and expanding our marketing. We are not up to the speed of 2021. There's a lot that we could be doing out there with social media that we're just not. And I think that's really to our detriment. And the reason I wanted to come have this conversation with you today is to talk about expanding my role and what I'm doing here.
Right. Thanks for coming to me. You know, you can always come to me with anything. I think my first pause here would be, we don't have any of those things today. You're right. We are a little behind in social media, but we're the top mortgage company in the country. So I don't know how leadership would receive this, knowing that we're doing really, really well without it, honestly.
And I totally hear you, and I respect you that this is something that we're already performing so well. And it is my experience and my sort of takeaway from the world that unless you're always on top and innovating, you won't always be on top, right? It takes something new to get there, but it takes something else to stay there. And I think this is our piece that helps us stay in that position.
Let me pitch it to leadership. He would never tell me no. And he would never just point blank say no. So he would definitely say, let me pitch it to leadership and I'll get back to you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
You said it beautifully though. I love you said, like, because we are on top as a company. But to stay on top, that's what matters. And we talk about that a lot, actually.
100%. Well, sorry, there's something going on in the chat. Great. Well, let's have you do it again. And how about I be you and you? Hello.
Hi, thanks for taking the time to meet with me. I wanted to kind of pitch an idea to you, if that's okay.
I'm open for this conversation.
Hi. It's been on my heart for a while. I wanted to give it some thought, and I feel like I'm ready to just put it out there. So, I love my job. I love the region I recruit for and all of it. I'm here for it. I'm all in. I'm bought in. I'm invested. But I feel like there's a disconnect in how we present ourselves as an organization to everyone, to competitors, to loan officers, which is what I primarily recruit for, to loan officers, to operations, to everyone. How we perform as a company, of course, matters, but how we present ourselves to the world matters as well. And today, I feel like there is a gap in how we present ourselves. We don't have a social media strategy whatsoever. Our recruiting is a little subpar as far as, again, how we present ourselves. So do we get more loans and more volume and more money than any other mortgage company? We do. We really, really do. But I think we could be excellent in some other areas. And I would love to be someone that is part of that. So all of that to say, I wanted to kind of talk through an idea I have about creating a hybrid role where I would maybe just scale back on recruiting and add in the marketing piece as far as owning our social media platforms. And then to add on to that, video recruiting as well, which you and I have spoken about. We have all the equipment for it. Social media is free. We have all the tools I would need to use: Photoshop, Canva, Lightroom. You don't know what any of these things are, but we have them already and they're paid for and they don't cost anything. And I don't know, I just have this drive to do more here. And I want to, not just for myself, yes, but for the company as well. And instead of hiring a social media strategist, which in my experience in the research I've done as a recruiter, you're normally looking 85,000 to 105, 110,000. So instead of going that route and adding a full-time employee on during the pandemic, which is hard to do, I could just take a bump in pay and kind of equalize that. It's a huge money save, but I also think it's a huge value add. So what do you think?
I like the sound of this idea. I'm interested to take it to leadership and see what they have to say, but I'm really glad you brought this to our attention, and it sounds very well thought out and planned.
Okay, thanks.
And see. How does that feel?
Much better.
Wow, that was amazing.
I felt like I could do that.
You 100% could do that.
So powerful. Oh my goodness. So powerful. How did it feel for you? I'm really curious. How did it feel for you going through that role play and getting to see both sides of the coin?
So the first time I was me, it felt clunky, and clunky is probably the best word, just not good. And probably how I would have actually done it, right? Like if I would have actually gone to him, it probably would have been like I was the first time, but I probably would have cried. And then I think that is likely what he would have said if I would have presented it that way around, we don't need to be any better. But then doing it me the second time felt not just natural, but it felt like that's exactly how I should say it. Like I need to go back and watch this recording and like take notes and maybe just play it for him.
So good. So what I'm hearing you say is kind of going through that first motion, maybe not have giving it some thought, like you said, you thought about it in the shower, or maybe thought kind of what you would say, but to actually physically get to say it and get to be involved in that situation of hearing a response and then getting to really tune in inward and change that a little bit, change that dial, make that frequency a little bit clearer of what you really want to say, what you really want to portray, and the energy. Like, if I can just say, looking in, when you were really going through that process of being you, having that conversation the second time, you brought in a lot of confidence, a lot of clarity and understanding. And from what I saw as well, a lot of bravery, really standing up for exactly what it was that you felt intuitively called to say and really firmly stood behind that.
Thank you. It felt good. It felt really good.
Amazing. What is your takeaway from that role play? I'm really curious. What's the big takeaway?
That it doesn't have to be as scary as I think it's going to be. And he will make it a safe space for me. And that there's no reason I shouldn't say this to him. There's really no reason.
Wow. Huge. Absolutely huge. Can we just take a moment to really celebrate you in this? This is a huge change and a huge shift from where you were coming into the session.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
So good. How does that feel? I know we were talking about your heart space before and how you really feel that in your heart, how you're really led by your heart. How does that feel saying this, presenting this, letting this be in this space? How does that feel in your heart right now?
Expansive. So like I think it was you who asked, it might have been Sandra, who asked how I felt when I started, and my heart felt like really, really tight thinking about this. And it feels like open. That's amazing. That's always my goal.
Love the word expansive. That welcomes in so much, so much. Incredible. I know Julie had asked you before on some of this scale that you were feeling about the middle part of our session, about a 6 or a 7 for taking this action and for really feeling inspired and having the confidence and the safety to move forward, which is absolutely incredible to have made that change from a 2 or a 3, jumping up to a 6 or a 7. I want to do a quick check-in just to see where we are right now. Has that number shifted or changed or moved for you? If we were to think about 1, not taking any action, 10, I'm ready to ask for what I want.
I don't know why. Maybe that's a limiting belief, but I feel like an 8 or 9. I'm someone who, I don't know that I operate at a level 10. I think I'm more of a like, just do it scared kind of person. Not that I don't believe I can get to 10, but yeah, like an 8 or 9, which is incredible for me.
That's amazing. And what if the goal isn't even to be at a 10? How incredible is that to be at an 8 or a 9?
Amazing.
That is a massive jump. Absolutely massive jump. And I know one piece you said in a moment was like just doing it scared and knowing that you might go into that moment with a little bit of nervous energy, a little bit of that moment, but that you can show up in that energy, in that confidence as that 8 or that 9. Amazing. So good. Beautiful.
I am just celebrating you so big right now because over the course of an hour, you opened yourself up. You were so vulnerable. You tapped into what it would feel like if everything went exactly your way, if you had that successful completion of this conversation. You tapped into that anxiety and you tuned in and you allowed yourself to feel it, to move through it, and to offer yourself that safety that you were so badly craving. And you connected with your inner child. You told her it was safe to be seen. You told her not to play small, especially for anybody else. And you demonstrated that when you had a dialogue and you got to actually practice and articulate what it would sound like to have that conversation. And that was all you. It was because you showed up with so much openness and so much willingness and vulnerability and courage. So celebrate yourself and know that I am celebrating you on like such a huge scale right now. It is amazing what you've been able to work through.
When there's awesome coaches, it's a lot easier.
So we've covered a lot in this session, and I'm curious, what are your next steps moving forward? Like, how do you plan on taking everything that we talked about today and that we learned today, and how do you see that manifesting into the next few days?
I think I need to go back and watch this Zoom and take notes. There's so much good information in here. And I think I'm someone who needs to, like, before like a pitch or a proposal, I have to actually like stand in front of a mirror and practice it. So I need to do that. I need to figure out not a script or word for word how I want to say it, not to that extent, but I'd like to get a good shell of what I'd really like to say to him, because I just get one chance to do it. So I want to make sure I drive those points home to him, knowing that there could be some resistance. So I want to make sure I hit any potential pain points that like leadership could come back with. So I think taking the time to practice it, not perfect it, but practice it, will definitely make me feel the most prepared.
Yeah, that sounds such a great plan. And I do have one more question for you, because going into this call, there was a lot of, what if he says no? Like, what if he, thinks I don't value my job? And what if he thinks that, he should let me go because I'm not happy? What if he takes your idea, sees how much you care about the company, sees how valuable you actually are, and he says, let's do this. How can we run with this?
I would die.
What then?
I would just die. I will call y'all real quick. Like, everyone back on Zoom. I wouldn't. I'd be so excited. Feel very proud.
Amazing. Do you think that you can catch yourself in those moments where you get into the what ifs, and offer yourself that reframe so that it's no longer doom or gloom, but an expansive, like you mentioned earlier, just an expansive opportunity to welcome in all the possibility for you?
Absolutely.
Yes. I'm so proud of you. You're doing so good.
Thank you.
As your coach, I'd love to know, like, how can I hold you accountable moving forward? Because I would love to continue to support you throughout this process.
I think if I can maybe let you know right before I do it, like, hey, I'm about to do it. It just feels like a safety net to me for some reason, but then I'll, of course, let you know when I have done it.
Yeah, absolutely. I would be more than happy to do that. And is there anything else that I can help you with, or that you need accountability on, or I can support you on?
No, this was really huge for me, the biggest thing. So no, this has been amazing. Thank you.
Awesome. And one last time, just what is your biggest takeaway from everything that you worked on today and that you worked through and moved through?
And I can do this.
Yes. Yes, you can. Oh, you did amazing. And know that you will be in my thoughts. And I know that you will just express your most truest and most authentic self, coming exactly like you said from the heart, because that's where you thrive. And you have so much to offer this company. They are so, so lucky to have you. And this is just the beginning of so much more. So I'm celebrating you. I hope you take the time to celebrate yourself and how far you've come. And just remember what you said to that little girl. Don't play small, not for anybody. Go big.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Thank you. Thank you, coaches, client. Can we give everyone a round of applause? Virtual round of applause, emojis, hearts, all the things. That was amazing. Woo! We did some work today. Thank you so much for listening. You know I love my BAM fam. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who you know would love it too, because we live for the ripple effect over here. And how can you best support the show? Make sure you're subscribed, hit the 5 stars, and leave a review on iTunes, and let me know how the podcast has impacted you. I love being part of your real-time journey, so screenshot the episode and tag me and my guests on Instagram at ManifestWithAsh. Now say it with me. I am my own power source. I am the master of my own energy, and I deserve everything that I desire. We don't just talk about it over here, we be about it. Now go get 'em.